In this video today, we're going to be focused in over here on Bitcoin. We're going to look at some important levels, what might be developing, what is next. We're going to be taking a look at Ethereum over here, also breaking important resistance. We'll see what we're looking at above, what's our next target. We're going to be looking at gold and also silver and checking in on the indexes to make sure that we stay in the flow of the market. What's going on, everybody? This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing. I want to look over the dollar for 1 second over here. I want you to focus in, but keep in mind situational awareness. We are here towards the end of the year over here. Traders will not be coming back into their desk to around the 5th of January. That's when we're really going to be focused in on. That's when we're going to flow back in to FX and make sure that we have that really strong awareness of what's going on, looking for trends that are developing. Right now, we just want to keep that flow. We just want to make sure that we're making sure that we're reviewing our charts and understand what is continuing to develop in the markets over here. I want to look at the DXY, the US dollar index. What type of reaction are we seeing from the dollar? Dollar's pretty much unchanged on the day. I just want to look over here right now and focus on this current price action with you, see what you think of that. I'll let you know what I think of that. Is that possibly a bottom pattern that's developing? A couple of things, right? We have this trend line, just to give you some focus over here. This trend line goes back all the way to the March 2020 top over here. You could see that it came into play over here also in May. And then again in September, before we broke above, this is when we were looking for a possible counter trend move, but that was quickly faded. And then since then, we've remained under pressure, right? The first indication that we are seeing any type of trend reversal would be if we were to go ahead and trade above that trend line over there. I'll extend it down for you over here just so you could see it in play and in view. That's only the first bit of indication that we would be looking at, that we're seeing a potential reversal in the dollar. If you notice over here, though, that trend line break would coincide with a break above this resistance over there at 90.84. You could see over here, right in this area over here, breaking above there, right? That would signal to me that we're going to be testing 92.20 to 92.50 in that area over here. I want to show you what that looks like if you zoom out over here. That's this area right over here. I'll zoom in right over there. Over here in this area, do you see this outer trend line over here, by the way? This outer trend line of this big channel going back to the March high. If we break above 92.50, this area right over here, that would be a breakout of that channel. That would be signaling to myself, especially when we're looking at signal. Signal right now is the expansion of the stimulus, right? We're seeing the government take on further debt. We know that the central banks in 2021 are going to be extraordinarily active with a total of $315 billion in purchases monthly. Right? If the dollar starts getting bid under those circumstances, we have to pay attention. Now, that's not the base case. Just watching out, always watching out for the adverse side over here. And right now, that remains as long as we're below that trend line over here, as long as we're below this horizontal resistance at 90.83, we're expecting further pressure and downside on the dollar. If we break above this area over here, then we're looking for a bigger correction. That correction is going to come between 92 and 92.50, 92.20 and 92.50. And just so you understand, that is this trend line over here. That is this outer trend line over there that would come into play of this channel. A breakout above there, and it doesn't matter what we think. At that point, we're gonna be looking at a firmer dollar, okay? We follow what's happening on the charts. We try to keep ourselves on the right side of the trade. We don't try to let all our quote-unquote logic get in the way, right? We just follow what the market is showing us. With that in mind, let's take a look at gold. We're going to take a look at gold, silver over here. We'll check in on the indexes, but first, after gold and silver, we'll be looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you haven't been following my updates, I try to update everyone daily what's going on with Bitcoin's current price action. It's been spot on. I really highly recommend you give that a follow and you follow the conversation and add to it. I've also noticed, especially in the Conquering the Markets private Telegram group, the degree, the level of the conversations have vastly improved, not only over the past year, over the past few months, over the past several weeks. It's absolutely phenomenal. I'm very, very, very proud. Something to learn every day from everyone. So what else are we looking at here on gold, right? Gold, I just want to step back for a second, give you that bigger perspective. Gold is in a massive uptrend over here in a bull market. In that bull market, we have this bull flag developing over here. You can see this is the outer trend line of that bull flag. If I were to go ahead and copy that over there and just let me clone that over here and just put that on the lower, you could see it over there. Look, there. You can see that's the bull flag that we're following right now. We're coming close. We're testing the upper resistance of that bull flag. A breakout above this bull flag. Let me show you what that looks like over here in real time. This trend line over here is the resistance of the bull flag. A breakout above this, in my opinion, that's going to take us pretty quickly to 1976, right? And eventually, not too long thereafter, we should be testing the all-time high on gold over here and then moving on to new highs. Now, is it a given that we're going to break this resistance? It's not. Again, watch the dollar. The dollar right now, right? It's showing signs over here of possibly. Look. I'm not trying to say the dollar's putting in a bottom. Obviously, I'm not one of those people who are always trying to call a bottom. I'm just, let's say that I'm paying attention to the current price action over these last couple of days, and I'm going to be following. As long as we stay below that area, we know that we're looking for a further downside on the dollar. Break above it, and then we're targeting a higher area. Break above that, and then all of a sudden, things have changed, and we'll be monitoring to that. Over here on gold, though, instead of trying to be preemptive is what I'm getting at. Just because it looks like we have the potential to break out of this bull flag, you don't enter the trade until you get the actual trigger. And for me, it's not only a break of this trend line over here. If that were to occur at around 1900, I would not be a buyer, right? Because most likely what's happening is in this 1914, this gold line over here, we'd have a little bit of a rejection, a retest of this broken trend line, maybe this 1895 horizontal resistance. You can see that's in play right here today. And then a resumption out, getting above 1914. That's when I like the trade. I'm looking for high probability trades. That's all. Silver's looking a little bit better today. Silver's above the important level over here of $26. Above $26, silver is looking a very bullish structure over here. Silver is actually broken out of its bull flag. A retest over here, as you're getting right now, you could see over here. Let me go to the 8-hour. You can see it on the 12-hour. You can see over here we're putting in lower highs. We have this red bar. We're now retesting this broken area, this broken resistance of 26, looking to confirm that into support or resumption off of here, making higher highs. That, in my opinion, looks like a really good place to step in and get long on silver over here. And again, that would be targeting the 2020 high over here at 29, what is it, 2970, 2980? Right? We're targeting that. We're very far off silver's all-time high. I believe that we could see silver's all-time high in 2021. So silver looking good in this current situation. Let's focus in on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's holding up pretty well, huh? Look at these magic trend lines over here. Just let me zoom out one quick second over here. This is the prime trend line I drew. All of these trend lines, every single one of these trend lines have been here for months. And they have come into play, and they've been an incredible tool for us on the way up over here, right? What are we looking at over here? By the way, right now over here in real time, let me show you the trend line that's currently in play. Do you see this over here? These lines, these magic lines, they haven't been moved. I called that on Twitter, right? As we were breaking above 24, I said watch 2750. Over here at 2750, we spiked above it, didn't close above it. You could see that we've sold off since, and now have come up and retested that. We're consolidating under the resistance. I would say that's pretty bullish. I'm pretty impressed with Bitcoin being able to maintain its current trajectory. Now, over here, I think this is the biggest news of the day, by the way. I don't know how many people are talking about it. I'm going to share it with you. I think it's huge signal over here. Green Pro, I never heard of them, right? Some random public company over here, they just purchased $100 million of Bitcoin, or they're getting ready to. In the details, they actually might be getting ready to. Nevertheless, their stock is up 100% today, right? Doubled overnight. But here's the thing. Instead of issuing debt, MicroStrategy set the stage for all of this. They just raised, right? MicroStrategy, $750 million to purchase their second round of Bitcoin. Now you're seeing other public companies following that playbook over here. Instead of issuing debt to buy back their stock, companies are now selling debt to purchase Bitcoin. This is enormous signal. Actually, this headline has it right here. Here's the real news. This is the real news over here. This is extraordinary, and we're going to see, I believe, in 2021, many, many more companies following this plan of attack. Rightfully so. It's the smartest thing to be doing out there. Michael Saylor, the CEO of MicroStrategy, absolutely gets all the credit for doing it. I would have to say that Square, with their $50 million purchase, let's see the next time we see their quarterlies if they purchase more, but that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. Everyone is watching what's going on over here right now. The boardrooms are buzzing over here, and Bitcoin, don't forget, ever since the halving, has only put in two. We had going into the halving over here. The halving date is this blue line over here. Going into that halving, we had a 20% pullback, right? From here to here in the week before the halving. And then we had another 20% pullback. Normally at this time of the cycle, we have 30% pullback. So far, we've had two 20% pullbacks and then one 16.5% pullback. You have to pay attention to what the market's showing us. Now, I'm always prepared, mentally prepared for at least a 30% pullback during this bull market phase. Nevertheless, pay attention to what the market's showing us. We did have another pullback. I think it was about a 7% pullback. Just let me get from my own knowledge over here. It was a 9% pullback. We had almost a 9% pullback over here, and you could see that Bitcoin since has been consolidating. When I say consolidating, you could see that over here, it's kind of feeling out where to go. Sold off, bounced back, and you can see that it's currently making lower highs and lower highs and higher lows. But you can see most importantly that this trend line over here at 27,500 is currently in play, breaking above there. Right? One of three things could happen from here. I put this out in the tweet. We either consolidate, which is what is happening. Right? The second scenario is that we had a pullback over here towards 24. Right? That, by the way, is what? I think that's a 15% pullback. Again, I also pointed out the levels. Always know your levels. That is a 15% pullback, 15.8% pullback. And over here, down over here, see this really important technical level? Why I say really important technical level is because this was the resistance that we consolidated in for 1 month, right? Finally breaking above that 19,500 area. That was a big breakout over here on Bitcoin, setting up this next move over here. Technically, a retest over there would be super bullish, right? That would be a 30% drawdown all the way back to that level. That would be super, super, super bullish. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I've been saying since over here when we had the 16.5% pullback, when I was looking for a deeper pullback over here for a 30% pullback. Once we recovered, I told everyone, listen, I'm back fully positioned, and I believe that's the way to be right now because this bull market is showing us different behavior. The risk is to the upside, and look what happened since. It remains the same. I will stay fully positioned for the entire length of the bull market phase over here at Bitcoin. Is it possible we're entering a super cycle over here? We'll talk about that more later. I think it's something you have to consider. It's something you have to consider, but it's still very early. It's still very early, and we were having that discussion. The last time I spoke to you all, I was talking about I still believe we're going to see altcoins rise. I still believe we're going to have a strong alt season. And then since you've seen what has Ethereum done? Right? That was a few days ago that I touched base with all of you, right? What has Ethereum done since over here? Ethereum is up 26%. 26%. Again, I fully believe in alt season. Let's take a quick look at Ethereum before we jump back to Bitcoin since I'm over here. Look at this over here. Right now, you could see this resistance I had over here at 730 is breaking. We've broken above it, right? We've came in ready for the retest. It's just been one down bar. Didn't even make lower highs, and we're bouncing right off of it. That's the sign. That's a signal of a very strong market that we're currently in right here. Ethereum is bid. Ethereum is being bought. The next area that I'm targeting over here is the 817 level. Let me zoom in over there. There you go. Now, does that mean that we're going straight up? Well, no. Of course not. But if you're looking at the current price action over here, right, you can see that breaking above this resistance over here at 1730 has already been retested, and now we're trading back up. So the momentum is strongly to the upside over here. 1817 is absolutely in play. What happens after that? That's probably the question people are asking. Are we going to new all-time highs after that? Is that a possibility? Let me zoom out over there, you know? Listen, I haven't thought about it in a long time. Looking at the chart over here, once we clear above 1817, there's not much in the way. There's not much in the way between Ethereum printing and making a new all-time high. It is during this current cycle, the portion of the cycle over here, where Ethereum really picks up. We've seen that happen over the last few days. Everything is playing out exactly on time. So just nothing else to say. Very bullish here on Ethereum. What else is going on over here on Bitcoin? I just wanted to talk about what else could play out over here. Why we're consolidating below this resistance over here. We talked about to the downside, right? That we could come out and test this trend line support over here around 23,800, 24,000 in that area right above here. That would be a 15-16% pullback. The other thing that happens is we continue to consolidate, right? And if we break out above and clear above this resistance line over here, the next area that we're targeting over here is this last known resistance. What do I mean by last known resistance? First, let me call out the level for you. That's coming in around 30,500. That's my last known resistance on Bitcoin. After that, it's blue skies. This is known resistance over here from this current cycle that we're in. Let me just go ahead and make that pretty for you. My prime trend line, these lines that I've had here for months, right? Have been completely in play, continue to be up until here. After there, we're going to have to go off horizontal support and resistance as the market shows us what is happening over there. But there'll be blue skies ahead. And as far as I know, and from my work, from my art, there's no known resistance above that. What else is going on over here? Let me just briefly check in over here on the equity markets. You see the S&P 500 shakeout. Look at this shakeout over here, breaking out to the upside. False break down, again back into the channel, now breaking out to new all-time highs. What's going to happen in 2021? Look, I remain very bullish on equities. That's simply off the fact that I talk about it often because it's the most important thing to talk about when it comes to equities. We're looking at $315 billion of QE purchases from the G10 monthly. Boom, that is signal, right? What's going to happen to equities? Stocks go up. Jordan, QE is not inflationary. It sure is asset inflationary. I've been saying it ever since the Fed intervened in the end of March. You know, it's up to you. Either which way, are equities risky right now? I don't know. I'm going to wait until we get back into January to really get a feel and focus in on equities over here. Right now, it's nice to see them printing new highs. Everything looks bullish. If I look across the markets over here, again, Nasdaq making new all-time highs. I'm not seeing any warning signs that I want to give out to you. I'm not worried about anything. If and when things change and we're getting any type of warning signs that equities might be risky or there's something to watch out for sure, as you know, I will do my best to make you aware. Right now, I feel like we're kind of on autopilot, and there's not much else to add about that, so I don't really want to take up too much time. We will get really focused in on it. What about Brexit? Could that be why the dollar is currently a little bit bid over here? Let me just come down and look at how pound pairs are trading today. You can see the pound pairs are off 0.5%. Pound Japanese yen, pound US dollar, 0.75%. That's pretty big. Yeah, pound is under pressure. What does that mean? Dollar's bid. Is the DXY currents bid because of the potential? I do believe, and I do believe that the Prime Minister Johnson did warn businesses to prepare for a bumpy ride over here. I don't think while it's still possible we have a last minute deal, anything could happen. Is that possibly why we see the dollar a little bit bid over here? If that's the case, to me that's not signal. That's not signal. That will be temporary. However, if there is a tough exit, if the pound is devalued in a quick fashion, whether that's near term or long term, that will be priced over in the DXY. But again, in my opinion, that's all noise. That's not signal. Everyone, I miss our daily live streams. Looking forward to getting back to that with you all when it's time. But definitely right now, just wanted to touch base with you all. Make sure that I'm doing my work, that I'm staying in the flow over here. It's really important. I came into this session a little bit cold, and I feel right away getting it back. And I just want to stay warm so that when it's time to get back and it starts to actually doing our thing, that I'm ready. Then I'll be able to go ahead and do what we do. So everyone, have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon.